welcome to Orlando YouTube channel. For this content, we will try to attempt to solve some engineering economics problems using Excel or spreadsheet online, which is free from Microsoft if you go online, and also try to use Python in order to solve this sample problem. So please stick with me. I hope you will watch and try to imitate the demonstration using also your computer or even probably a cell phone.
Hello and welcome again to Orlando YouTube channel. So before we start solving some engineering economics problems, let's try to define what engineering economics is. So in my left corner of my workspace, let's try to type in Google search engineering economics. And actually there are so many definitions of what engineering economics is. One of the definitions that I would like to share is from economicsdiscussion.net. Okay, so in this website, anyway, I'm going to include this in the description below. So engineering economics, the meaning of engineering economics, it's a subject of vital importance to engineers because this helps understand the need or the knowledge for economics to become an effective manager and decision maker. So engineering economics quantifies the benefits and costs associating with engineering projects to determine if they save enough money to warrant their capital investments. So that's why engineering economics is very important for engineers, because even though we have so many solutions to solve specific problems, engineers need also to identify and analyze if those projects are economically feasible or not. So for this first example, later I'll demonstrate on a very simple example about variable cost and fixed cost using spreadsheet and also using Python. Stick with me.
Hi and welcome again. So for this time, we will try some of the engineering economics problem, and to start with, let's try to solve some problems on fixed cost and as well as variable cost. Now before we jump into solving the problem, it's really important that we need to understand first the terms variable and also fixed cost, so that we can understand and analyze, even imagine how these variables and the values that are stored in these variables play a role in the engineering problems, especially in economic problems that we solve every day. So in my left work area, I'm using Shopify, which is a business encyclopedia. You can also search this in Google. Let's try to type what is a variable cost or variable expense. So we notice that there is a variable cost definition here, and yeah. So a variable cost is an expense that rises, and falls in the direction proportion to the production volume. So it's a cost that involves how big or small your production volume is. These are sample common variable costs, which include like raw materials, sales, and the like. So for our first calculation using the spreadsheet, we'll try to compute this example using the spreadsheet, as well as we'll also try to use this example in solving Python.
Hello and good morning. Welcome again to Orlando YouTube channel. And for today, we will try to solve some engineering economics problem involving variable cost and fixed cost. So in the previous slide or video, we defined what is a variable cost, and our example would be this one. So to solve this using a spreadsheet online, we go first to the URL office.com from Microsoft, and let's try to sign in. For those who are not able to sign up, have not yet signed up, so please try to sign up because this is free for online. Alright, so we're in. So this is my office.com environment. I'm just going to click Excel. Again, this is free for online users. And let's go to a new blank workbook. By the way, you can also do this while you're following me using your desktop. In your cell phone, actually, you can also do this if you go to install Excel, which is found also in Google Play Store, as well as iPhone Apple App Store. Okay, so let's try to name the sheet. Example 1. And let's try to name here variable cost. Example 1. We need to look back to our problem what is given. So, for example, total variable cost for 10,000 units produced. So, this 10,000 units refer to the volume. Okay, we go back to the definition of variable cost. It's an expense that rises or falls in direct proportion to production volume. So we even have a formula here of what is total variable cost. So total variable cost equals quantity of products produced, the 10,000, multiplied to the variable cost per unit. So let's try to type this formula. Let's see if we can copy paste this here. There. But of course this won't work because these are all pure text. What we need is the quantity of products produced, or we can also say volume of production equals we put all our values in the B column, and let's put the description or the label at the A column. Then the variable cost per unit. So we have the variable cost per unit equals. So we can do it like this and simply just plug in the example. The variable cost, the volume of production in this example is 10,000 units. You just type 10,000, and the variable cost per unit, the per unit cost is 2.57. And of course, our total variable cost, since it says we need to multiply, press the equal sign, then your volume of production, asterisk is the multiplication of the math operation, times your variable cost per unit, and you have 25,700. Let's make it bigger. And of course, we need to put comma for this. So 25,700. Let's try to see if we have the same answer. Yeah. So in this example, the total variable cost for this example, the volume and the per unit cost is 25,700. There you have it. So we're done. But what if, for example, the cost per unit varies through time, because normally prices vary, goes up, goes down. So if we go to the definition of variable cost, it rises and it falls in direct proportion to volume. So let's try to see if we can see the rising and up and down of the cost. What happens now? Let's try to have another example. The same values that we used. This time we'll try to use graphs to understand the definition. And probably to help us with the graph, a graph in the Cartesian plane needs the x values, but let's try to put here the variable n to give us the number of periods, and the x here is let's say the x here would be our volume of production. So to see if this is our volume of production, and then let's try to see that this would be our variable unit cost. So unit cost technically is how much per unit of this volume would typically cost. And then of course here we have the total cost. This is just our multiplying the volume or the quantity of products produced in the variable cost per unit. I'm trying to find a wrap function there. Okay. Done. Much better. So for the first definition, for the first value, try to use the given value. Okay. So the volume, if now since I'm using sample one, this is the beauty of the spreadsheet. We can try to press the equal sign and go to our first sheet. Try to use the first volume of production and then also the unit cost. Of course, total variable cost is this equivalent to this, and this one. Yeah, better. Okay, let's not put comma there. Since they're all cost, and put it in the center. It doesn't. I am. Okay, so what if we have five periods? Of course, not in the 5 periods, or let's say 7 days. So within 7 days or a week, let's say your volume production goes down by 9,500 and it goes still down 9,000, some constraints, and still goes down to 8,500, goes back again to 9,000 and probably 9,050. Let's rising 9,900. Okay, so that's your volume of production. While let's say that your unit cost would remain the same, it's still the same variable cost all throughout the week. There are no price changes. Oops. Yeah, because we didn't use absolute difference. Yeah, using the absolute difference dollar sign. Okay, then let's see what happens to our total variable cost. Now, those are numbers, and human beings are sometimes have little difficulty reading the numbers, and mas madali if it's visual. So let's try to graph the total variable cost and see the movement of behavior in relation to the definition. Oh, there you have it. So that's the total variable cost. That's how it behaves. And of course, we go back to the definition of the variable cost. So variable cost is an expense that rises and falls in direct proportional to the production volume. So it falls and then it rises. That's your total variable cost using spreadsheet. I hope you enjoy and stay tuned for another video using Python, and let's try to see if we can graph using Python.